Welcome to Soft Wash Evolution, brought to you by Northway Power Washing, and in this video we're talking chemical injectors. Downstreaming is a great way to get into soft washing. It's cheap and efficient, and in this video I'm going to show you how to set these up, how to do some maintenance on yours to extend their life, and also an improvement that you can do to a simple downstream injector to improve your soft washing. As I said, we're talking chemical injectors today, downstreaming for soft washing. If you're just starting out, downstreaming is where you're going to most likely be starting for soft washing houses. So you will need standard pressure washing gun here. This is just a pistol grip gun. These are not chemical resistant. They will start to corrode on the inside. There are a few moving parts in that valve that are brass and some other materials in there, some light, mild metals that do corrode. But you can get regular ones like this, perform a little maintenance, pull them apart, clean them a couple times a year, and they'll last a really long time. These are soft washing nozzles. This is what's usually known as a J-rod. It's just a nozzle holder. You can change any one of these you want. You want to get wide orifice nozzles. I think I have a 2540 on there, the 0040, the big shooter tip. I have a narrower fan tip and a narrower shooter just for reaching a tough spot if it's really windy and you just got to do a quick shot. Those are almost too narrow to do downstreaming with, but they usually do work. So you can get as many as you want. You can go with just one, keep the other ones in your pocket. As you get going, you'll want some that are welded together like this. Just makes it quicker for you doing quick changes. These colored ones are pressure washing nozzles. So this black one will do draw, soap draw, chemical draw. It does have a wide enough orifice on it, as you can see. But when you buy these things, they usually come all together. This is what you get from the big box stores and everywhere else. These are pressure washing nozzles. These are not for soft washing. If you put these on the end of this gun, even if you have that chemical injector rigged up and hooked up correctly, nothing will come out of that chemical injector. The pressure is too high. What needs to happen is called the Venturi effect. To go back to physics class, it's high pressure to low pressure creates a vacuum, and it will draw through the high pressure stream. But when you make too high of a pressure with these nozzles, there's not enough of a change between the high and low pressure, so there's no vacuum. You won't be getting anything out of it. Another thing that affects your downstreaming draw, the length of your pressure washing hose. So generally it's a 200 feet. You don't want to go over that. I have done it. I've thrown on an extra 50-foot section just to reach something. It will do it. You're putting a lot more pressure on your pump when you do that. Some people say you can't even get over 100 feet. I know the manufacturers usually recommend 100 to 150. I daily use 200 feet on my pressure hose. The fewer quick connects you have also is better. So 2 100-foot hoses hooked together is better than 4 50-foot hoses. It's just fewer connections. So you're not going to reach really 200, 250. It creates too much back pressure and you'll be really affecting your draw. You won't get it there. Again, chemical injectors come like this when you buy them. This is a general pump. These are probably the most common. There are different orifice sizes. This one is a 2.3. It says it right on there. I know it's hard to see. This one is a 2.1. The smaller the orifice size, the hotter mix, the more draw you'll get out of it. There is also like a 1.7 or a 1.8. If you're running a commercial pressure washer, that's probably too small of an orifice. You're putting too much pressure on things there. When you get them, you buy them though, they will look just like this. They will stop working eventually on you. When they do, it's because they get gummed up. There's only one moving part inside there. I have one taken apart right here to show you what it looks like. Take this a 1/2-inch wrench and you pull this brass plug off the top here and carefully remove it. This ball will be inside there and it will be stuck. This little spring will fall and you'll lose it, so don't. It's a tiny, tiny little brass alloy. There's not much to it. If it gets beyond the point of repair, if it's corroded, it will break and you'll need a new one. Normally they don't though. That ball will be stuck in there. Take a tiny screwdriver, push it from this side, and the ball will pop out. And it will look like this. It'll be all green and corroded. The best way to do it is to pull it apart just like that. Get yourself some white vinegar in a small cup and drop this whole thing with the ball, the spring, and the plug right inside the vinegar and let it sit overnight. Come back to it the next day, put it back together in the opposite order that you took it apart. You can also take like a brass brush, clean the threads off, clean off some other areas, a small screwdriver. Sodium hypochlorite is really corrosive. The first word is sodium. It's salt. It does leave behind a residue. You tighten that back down with a wrench. There's no torque setting on it, just get it tight. The plug and socket come separately. That's what these are. Plug and a socket, one on each side. You can put them in either direction. So you need to pay attention to that arrow that's on there that tells you which way the flow is going. You put some thread tape on just to make sure your connection's airtight, and you thread these on. That one's going that way. I'm not going to tighten it all the way down, but it can easily go the other way. So you need to pay attention to which way your flow is going. So I could always do this, and if you put that on your setup, it's not going to work. That's probably the main issue people run into, is they've got the arrow going the wrong way. So depending on which way your setup is going, put the plug in the socket on the correct side. This is what it looks like when it's all set up. This one needs a cleaning too, as you can tell. Throughout, I'll usually have 2 set up on my truck at all times. There'll be 3. There's 1 working on the setup. I'll have 2 in the cab of the truck in the toolbox waiting. When they fail, it's always at the most inopportune time. You can sit there and diagnose it in the field as you're washing a house. I just pull it right out, plug, socket, quick, get it out of there, put a new one on, get through the day. I come home and do the maintenance on them. This one looks a little different. This is just an upgraded check valve. This is from Southeast Soft Wash. It's the Skunk downstream check valve. It prevents anything from backing up. It's kind of rare. I haven't had it happen more than once, but you can get a reverse vacuum and actually push liquid, which would be just plain water, back into your bleach tank, which would dilute your SH mix, throws all your ratios off. So it'll prevent that from happening. I'll put a link for this one in there. There are other companies that make them, but it's a nice stainless steel check valve. You replace basically the guts of that chemical injector with this. Prevents backups, and you do get a slightly hotter mix. You'll get a little more of a draw using this than using the standard one that it comes with. So if you're downstreaming and you notice that you're reapplying constantly to try to get something clean, you're not getting enough bleach, this will up it a little bit. So you get a little bit of bleach savings, a little bit of time savings for that little bit of money that these cost. Chemical injectors, so another little maintenance thing I like to do. You can use white lithium grease on them, on the things like that, especially on these fittings. There's our plugs always have that rubber seal down inside there. Grab a bag of these things off Amazon. There's 1/4 inch and 3/8 sizes. These would be 3/8. You can get a small screwdriver and take that rubber seal out of there if they're starting to if you look down in there and they don't look smooth, probably starting to rip. Pull them out of there, pop a new one in. Put some lithium grease on there. It'll last about 1 day and wash right off, but it does help out. It lubricates those ball bearings that are inside that plug also, or socket. That's it for chemical injectors. I've got another video where I show you how to rinse these. So there are manual ways to rinse these, and there are automatic ways. I have a fully automatic rinse system on mine because it's remote control. When I turn my injector so that it's on, there's bleach coming through here. When I turn it off, all it does is switch which tank it's drawing from, so it draws water through here. So in my chemical injector system, my downstreamer, anytime my pressure washer is running, something is going through my chemical injector. So there's always water being rinsing this thing out and always going through it. Makes them last a lot longer. The downfall to that is if I'm running like my surface cleaner, or I'm actually using my pressure washer to pressure wash, like I've got one of the narrow tips on there and I'm doing a patio or something like that, you do lose a little bit of performance because you're pushing it through an injector. The good thing about it is it makes these last a lot longer and it's always rinsing it out. There is only 1 port on this also. You can only put 1 hose on there. So some people will ask, how do you get the soap mixed in with your bleach? You can pre-mix it if you want to. I don't do that though. I have 2 3-way valves on a manifold. So I draw soap out of one, bleach out of another. They mix in a manifold, come to my chemical injector, and out the gun together. Once I hit my remote and turn it off, it does just water. So I have another video where I'll go over that a little more. That's a little bit of an upgrade. Remote control system, it saves you a lot of walking back and forth. That is it. So that's it for chemical injectors, downstreaming. Get a few of these things. I'll put some links for the check valve and for the general pump chemical injector right in the description. And that's it for this video. Please leave us a comment if there's another video you really want, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks.